So I just want to say that, I want to talk about defending serial killers. And, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were telling me that because I had said that Stephen Paddock's shooting up Las Vegas was self-defense, no one was ever going to trust me again. No one was ever going to take me seriously again. Like, if I, had relationships with people and they were going great, and then, they found out that I had said that, that would just be it. That, even God himself, if God had believed that, if God had actually believed that, he never would have said it. Even God wouldn't have had the guts to say something like that. And that's what they were telling me. And what I want to say is that first off, I stand by what I said about Stephen Paddock, and that his killing and shooting up Las Vegas could be construed as self-defense. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. I'm just saying it could be construed that way. And I have a right to say that, and I've backed it up. Because you can go see, I've charted it out on paper how that could be. But I want to take a moment here, and I want to, the other day I was in a graveyard because I was wandering around looking at the graves, and I saw this funny cross where it has a smaller cross, horizontal plank above the normal horizontal plank, and then beneath it, it has a little slanted plank. And I was like, I've never seen this before, and it's like, I knew about Greek Orthodox crosses, but I hadn't seen this one. And so I read that this plank, you see, this is where Jesus' feet were when he was crucified, and the upper side points to the penitent thief off to his right, who's going to heaven, and the other side points downward toward the non-penitent thief on his left, who's going to hell. And I thought, yes, this is exactly what I need. So I want to point out to you, okay, so if you ask someone, why is the penitent thief going to heaven and the non-penitent thief going to hell? And they'll say because one, realized the error of his ways and he's going to heaven, and the other one refuses to, acknowledge the error of his ways and he's going to hell. Well, firstly, I want to suggest to you that this interpretation of that idea I will submit is completely sympathetic to social authority. And look at how childish it is. I mean, it's like a children's crayon drawing. Essentially what it says is that if you do something wrong, but really think you feel sorry about it afterwards, it's okay. But if you truly do something wrong and really believe in it, and actually believe in it enough to not be penitent for it, you're going to hell. Which is exactly the opposite of standing by what you believe. Now, I'm not trying to be really, let's put it this way. Okay, so the non-penitent thief, let's just say he was ostracized by society. He had no other way to survive, and so he was stealing food simply to survive. And I'm not saying, I'm a biblical scholar, but what I submit to you that interpretation is just as reasonable as the interpretation that he just was a cheater and didn't want to give his fair due to society and just hoped to somehow cheat society out of what its just deserts, and he just wanted to somehow pull a fast one and get things that weren't really his. That could be. But it could also be that perhaps he was scorned, thrown out, and dismissed as garbage for no particularly rational or foundational reason. They just, for whatever reason, the nursery rhyme must go on, and they just didn't like him. And so he had to steal, just like an African American or some, a Jewish person or an American Indian. They had to steal to survive, or they had to sit around and just live a life in a cage while people laughed at them and called them wimps, except for when they tried to do something to enable themselves, in which case they were called murderers. What I'm trying to say is that you guys have it sewn up both ways, see? And nowhere in here is there any actual inquiry as to why did the non-penitent thief steal? Why did he steal? Was there a reason? Could there have been a justification for his thievery? Since thievery only exists in society, then the society must have been flawed for the thievery to have happened. It's certainly a rational conclusion. Certainly no one can point to any society that's not flawed. That's why Jesus was on the cross. So once you're saying that the society is flawed, if you're not inquiring into why and what we can do to fix it, you're just part of the problem. And what's more is that I know that you guys can follow my reasoning on this. You just don't want to, okay? You don't want to take responsibility. You don't want to find an argument that can actually reasonably come and contradict this one or support this one or lead to positive social change. You just want to gripe, you want to troll, and when something happens, you just want to say that was bad. You don't want to say why was it bad. You don't want to say, do I have a responsibility for why this is bad? So that's why I'll stand by what I say, and I just want you guys to think about the parable of Jesus.